I eat. I eat. He is a successful entrepreneur and has founded several companies. He is a successful entrepreneur and has founded several companies. His behavior is unacceptable. His behavior is unacceptable. She cooks dinner for her family every night. She cooks dinner for her family every night. Your mother was binding. Your mother was binding. Only important. Only important. Can't you do a hematologist every year? Can't you do a hematologist every year? Sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes it didn't work. We cannot reduce. We cannot reduce. This is beyond doubt. This is beyond doubt. I did not vote. I did not vote. Is our grandfather a nurse? Is our grandfather a nurse? He writes poetry in his spare time. He writes poetry in his spare time. They used computers to do their homework. They used computers to do their homework. Will it be the police? Will it be the police? No salesperson in 5 weeks? No salesperson in 5 weeks? The meeting between the two leaders focused on trade agreements. The meeting between the two leaders focused on trade agreements. He died when I was 8 years old. He died when I was 8 years old. Do you have to answer at 5 p.m.? Do you have to answer at 5 p.m.? Are you an announcer after a weekend? Are you an announcer after a weekend? They dance at the party. They dance at the party. Will you be performing in 2 evenings? Will you be performing in 2 evenings? What is your favorite restaurant? What is your favorite restaurant? He went to the mall. He went to the mall. Shouldn't we remember at sunset? Shouldn't we remember at sunset? I admit that I made a mistake. I admit that I made a mistake. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. We would not direct. We would not direct. Do you need any special help? Do you need any special help? Did not focus. Did not focus. Didn't they extend it now? Didn't they extend it now? I am grateful to him for being my friend. I am grateful to him for being my friend. All the ingredients are ready. Let's start cooking. All the ingredients are ready. Let's start cooking. Should you be a naturalist? Should you be a naturalist? Then they wouldn't jump. Then they wouldn't jump. I'm going to clean my house from top to bottom. I'm going to clean my house from top to bottom. Anxious. Anxious. Let's make our own personal opening. Let's make our own personal opening. Cookie. Cookie. His brother was an accountant. His brother was an accountant. I just made a mistake in testing. I just made a mistake in testing. I'll kiss you if you promise to be a good boy. I'll kiss you if you promise to be a good boy. Shouldn't you extend it after 4 years? Shouldn't you extend it after 4 years? He has to referee after 2 days. He has to referee after 2 days. Oranges are weird. Oranges are weird. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? I've never had a job interview at Company X before. I've never had a job interview at Company X before. Wouldn't he care? Wouldn't he care? He didn't do journalism 5 days ago. He didn't do journalism 5 days ago. Not mentioned? Not mentioned? Can't I exercise? Can't I exercise? One, I don't notice anything special about it. One, I don't notice anything special about it. I'm going to buy a new clock for my kitchen. I'm going to buy a new clock for my kitchen. Congratulations for your new job. Congratulations for your new job. You shouldn't be a nighttime scavenger. You shouldn't be a nighttime scavenger. White walls make the room appear larger. White walls make the room appear larger. Then buy a ticket to our team and apply it with John. Then buy a ticket to our team and apply it with John. The company is looking for a new operations manager. The company is looking for a new operations manager. Children should give money to their classmates. Children should give money to their classmates. Are they starting a war? Are they starting a war? Chatty, chatty. I felt rejected. I felt rejected. I did not have time. I did not have time. Email is a convenient way to communicate. Email is a convenient way to communicate. She won't be cooking until she goes grocery shopping. She won't be cooking until she goes grocery shopping. After 5 months, you cannot control it. After 5 months, you cannot control it. The condition of the roads is a major concern for passengers. The condition of the roads is a major concern for passengers. I don't think marriage is necessarily the best solution. I don't think marriage is necessarily the best solution. I'm in the upstairs room. I'm in the upstairs room. She can be a waitress at dawn. She can be a waitress at dawn. He is an excellent writer and has published several books. He is an excellent writer and has published several books. I study English every day. I study English every day. I will shop. I will shop. The situation in the country is positive. The situation in the country is positive. I don't mean a year later. I don't mean a year later. We've seen that movie before. We've seen that movie before. Is your niece a decorator? Is your niece a decorator? I am aware that I need to improve my English. I am aware that I need to improve my English. Which hand is this? Which hand is this? Was he the bartender now? Was he the bartender now? I shouldn't feed at sunset. I shouldn't feed at sunset. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. When I talked to their previous manager, they said the same thing. Is his stepbrother a baker? Is his stepbrother a baker? You should wear it after 2 months. You should wear it after 2 months. I need to break this bad habit. I need to break this bad habit. My neighbor was a firefighter. My neighbor was a firefighter. A dehumidifier helps keep the basement dry. A dehumidifier helps keep the basement dry. Does he sit? Does he sit? I am happy that we can learn new words together. I am happy that we can learn new words together. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. They won't be going to jail anytime soon. They won't be going to jail anytime soon. Did I build? Did I build? Enjoying next year. Enjoying next year. Because I'm not hungry. Because I'm not hungry. Can it settle in from time to time? Can it settle in from time to time? You have stated that you are interested in learning more about horticulture. You have stated that you are interested in learning more about horticulture. Will there be an occasional contractor? Will there be an occasional contractor? I recommend you to learn English. I recommend you to learn English. We will attend a conference in 2 weeks. We will attend a conference in 2 weeks. Does he sign? Does he sign? What are you going to eat? What are you going to eat? Reconcile. Reconcile. Will I rarely leave? Will I rarely leave? He yawned. He yawned. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Not ranking. Not ranking. Organizes every year. Organizes every year. Do we continue? Do we continue? Don't you solve? Don't you solve? Small shops. Small shops. Can't you watch every week? Can't you watch every week? Couldn't they have an affair later in the morning? Couldn't they have an affair later in the morning? They could notice. They could notice. I love traveling to new places. I love traveling to new places. A mosquito just bit me. A mosquito just bit me. Inconsistency. Inconsistency. You have to bargain after one weekend. You have to bargain after one weekend. I will need a lot of help to get everything done on time. I will need a lot of help to get everything done on time. Don't I have to be a cashier every month? Don't I have to be a cashier every month? Is it incalculable? Is it incalculable? You didn't wear it before at 3 a.m. You didn't wear it before at 3 a.m. I think we should address this issue and have a meeting with the Ankara team for other tickets. I think we should address this issue and have a meeting with the Ankara team for other tickets. Players will rehearse their lines for the play. Players will rehearse their lines for the play. His half-sister is the referee. His half-sister is the referee. They watch TV after dinner. They watch TV after dinner. At the end of the month, we will have finished the project. At the end of the month, we will have finished the project. Actually, I want to say good things about Tommy, but not good things. Actually, I want to say good things about Tommy, but not good things. Now you weren't worried. Now you weren't worried. I have to go to the bank to deposit some money. I have to go to the bank to deposit some money. I'm going to the factory. I'm going to the factory. Our son is an architect. Our son is an architect. After 5 nights I wasn't cold. After 5 nights I wasn't cold. Your children are lawyers. Your children are lawyers. Can we hold a minute's silence for the victims? Can we hold a minute's silence for the victims? Where will we get the result? Where will we get the result? Confit monthly. Confit monthly. He is a successful businessman and owns his own company. He is a successful businessman and owns his own company. Thank you for your recommendation. Thank you for your recommendation. Please and don't forget to say thank you. Please and don't forget to say thank you. Have you noticed? Have you noticed? I start the car and drive to the market. I start the car and drive to the market. Then he is convinced. Then he is convinced. Sometimes it's an investment. Sometimes it's an investment. Nanny after 3 days. Nanny after 3 days. Will it break at sunset? Will it break at sunset? Do you see? Do you see? You can't be a manager every day. You can't be a manager every day. I wish I could play guitar like Jimi Hendrix. I wish I could play guitar like Jimi Hendrix. I am taking a shower. I am taking a shower. You would buy. You would buy. They had been married for 10 years before deciding to have children. They had been married for 10 years before deciding to have children. We can be agents 4 nights ago. We can be agents 4 nights ago. He does not teach. He does not teach. I walked to the store. I walked to the store. Impatient. Impatient. I don't notice anything unusual. I don't notice anything unusual. I will breastfeed. I will breastfeed. Generally environmentally friendly. Generally environmentally friendly. I have a suit made of stone. I have a suit made of stone. Archaeologist would not be 10 years. Archaeologist would not be 10 years. You must be a receptionist after one day. You must be a receptionist after one day. We comment 5 weeks ago. We comment 5 weeks ago. From where? From where? Were your relatives choreographers? Were your relatives choreographers? Can you describe the next 2 centuries? Can you describe the next 2 centuries? She cut her hair short for a new look. She cut her hair short for a new look. Can I become a concierge after 3 years? Can I become a concierge after 3 years? I can't believe it's December already. Time really flies when you're having fun. I can't believe it's December already. Time really flies when you're having fun. His wife was a bus driver. His wife was a bus driver. This may be an error. This may be an error. They should not refuse. They should not refuse. He's an adult now and can make his own decisions. He's an adult now and can make his own decisions. Pasta. Pasta. Be good. Be good. I need to get something to eat later. I need to get something to eat later. Is his stepson a publisher? Is his stepson a publisher? Did I defend? Did I defend? We would remove. We would remove. He swam in the ocean on vacation. He swam in the ocean on vacation. Shouldn't he always be a filmmaker? Shouldn't he always be a filmmaker? Can I add often? Can I add often? Please call me back as soon as possible. Please call me back as soon as possible. It is not prompted after 1 second. It is not prompted after 1 second. Wasn't he a blacksmith for 3 afternoons? Wasn't he a blacksmith for 3 afternoons? Could you pass me the remote control, please? Could you pass me the remote control, please? Should not be a leader every month. Should not be a leader every month. The death toll from the earthquake was high. The death toll from the earthquake was high. We aim for the dawn. We aim for the dawn. Will not suppress. Will not suppress. I don't know if I should believe you. I don't know if I should believe you. Will there be 2 afternoon programmers? Will there be 2 afternoon programmers? We cannot escape. We cannot escape. Do you have to analyze? Do you have to analyze? Wouldn't it be a clerk? Wouldn't it be a clerk? They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. The result of the match was a draw. The result of the match was a draw. Our wife is a philosopher. Our wife is a philosopher. 10 years. 10 years. Doesn't it create? Doesn't it create? Sorry, I have to leave. Sorry, I have to leave. Should he be suspicious now? Should he be suspicious now? Shouldn't it be borrowed? Shouldn't it be borrowed? Won't you be born in 15 days? Won't you be born in 15 days? I was studying when you called. I was studying when you called. Was your uncle logger? Was your uncle logger? Do you have to hate? Do you have to hate? He had been writing his novel for months before he finished it. He had been writing his novel for months before he finished it. I may not be able to prepare. I may not be able to prepare. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Your relatives are the vice president. Your relatives are the vice president. I'm between Isabel and Oscar. I'm between Isabel and Oscar. I will press the correct one. I will press the correct one. Should I enter later? Should I enter later? Mary was aware of this situation. Mary was aware of this situation. Is his brother a geographer? Is his brother a geographer? His grandfather is a businessman. His grandfather is a businessman. You should see it at dawn. You should see it at dawn. He will be visiting his family next weekend. He will be visiting his family next weekend. I was scared. I was scared. They shouldn't be interested in the afternoon. They shouldn't be interested in the afternoon. Held at 5 o'clock the previous evening? Held at 5 o'clock the previous evening? They could have rested 5 nights ago. They could have rested 5 nights ago. The building was on fire. The building was on fire. Do they need to explode right away? Do they need to explode right away? I'll open the door and see what's going on. I'll open the door and see what's going on. How to say hello in English. How to say hello in English. It will not accept after 2 seconds. It will not accept after 2 seconds. Maybe you should meet John. Maybe you should meet John. We can argue. We can argue. I am below you in rank. I am below you in rank. Logical. Logical. Were his grandchildren postmen? Were his grandchildren postmen? One of the warriors. One of the warriors. Got rich. Got rich. Leave here. Leave here. We can go after 4 nights. We can go after 4 nights. Disappoint. Disappoint. No afternoon esthetician. No afternoon esthetician. I clean my room on Sundays. I clean my room on Sundays. Is their aunt a secretary? Is their aunt a secretary? I need to buy new shoes. I need to buy new shoes. Wouldn't we have diversified before? Wouldn't we have diversified before? Were my parents monks? Were my parents monks? Responsible. Responsible. Can't we be sheriff in a month? Can't we be sheriff in a month? Were my cousins CEOs? Were my cousins CEOs? A stepmother songwriter? A stepmother songwriter? Often live. Often live. Didn't happen often. Didn't happen often. Shouldn't you be a weekly technician? Shouldn't you be a weekly technician? Could not be organized weekly. Could not be organized weekly. Were his grandchildren postmen? Were his grandchildren postmen? Not often a drummer. Not often a drummer. Indispensable. Indispensable. Was your mother a football player? Was your mother a football player? After analyzing the data, we can come to a conclusion. After analyzing the data, we can come to a conclusion. Could I not go forward? Could I not go forward? Do we have to forget? Do we have to forget? We may not be able to talk later. We may not be able to talk later. The cream could not. The cream could not. Can you recommend after 5 months? Can you recommend after 5 months? My children are getting a good education. My children are getting a good education. There. I can finish the project by the deadline. I can finish the project by the deadline. I'm sure you'll be able to use the new words in your own sentences. I'm sure you'll be able to use the new words in your own sentences. Can't your noon be a urologist? Can't your noon be a urologist? Where are you getting it from? Where are you getting it from? Did we look? Did we look? I have to request one later in the morning. I have to request one later in the morning. The situation is beyond belief. The situation is beyond belief. We destroy. We destroy. You will be refreshed after 3 minutes. You will be refreshed after 3 minutes. Will not visit. Will not visit. Finally. Finally. We will not plan for 10 years. We will not plan for 10 years. Can never judge. Can never judge. He didn't kiss at night. He didn't kiss at night. Aware. Aware. Pair. Pair. Food tastes bad, I don't like it. Food tastes bad, I don't like it. Should not cook for 2 weeks. Should not cook for 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation next month. I'm going on vacation next month. I'm feeling a little lost, can you point me in the right direction? I'm feeling a little lost, can you point me in the right direction? Couldn't lay it before. Couldn't lay it before. The doctor will be with you shortly to discuss the results. The doctor will be with you shortly to discuss the results. Won't it get it after 1 second? Won't it get it after 1 second? I will go on a journey. I will go on a journey. In 3 nights, there will be no vice president. In 3 nights, there will be no vice president. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. International cooperation is essential to tackling global challenges. Can't you be a physicist then? Can't you be a physicist then? Couldn't they be lifeguards last year? Couldn't they be lifeguards last year? Doesn't it spill? Doesn't it spill? Don't you solve? Don't you solve? Habit. Habit. I think Tommy already mentioned the problems. I think Tommy already mentioned the problems. Shouldn't you be? Shouldn't you be? I've been CEO every year. I've been CEO every year. You can shake it after 4 nights. You can shake it after 4 nights. You shouldn't use profanity in public. You shouldn't use profanity in public. You won't be a designer soon. You won't be a designer soon. The country's economy was heavily dependent on the oil industry. The country's economy was heavily dependent on the oil industry. Will you be able to attend the meeting tomorrow? Will you be able to attend the meeting tomorrow? Can they warn you after 3 hours? Can they warn you after 3 hours? Are the summers hot where you live? Are the summers hot where you live? I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's real. You can't ask. You can't ask. He is the most qualified of the candidates. He is the most qualified of the candidates. You can apply every day. 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 We made a trip to the zoo. We made a trip to the zoo. I try to exercise every day. I try to exercise every day. Do you like to play any video game? Do you like to play any video game? His wife is a mechanic. His wife is a mechanic. Have you designed it before? Have you designed it before? 4. They cannot spend. They cannot spend. Can it grow every month? Can it grow every month? Didn't he do it at sunrise? Didn't he do it at sunrise? I have to go back to the store to buy more milk. I have to go back to the store to buy more milk. Sometimes it may not roll. Sometimes it may not roll. Organizes every year. Organizes every year. He watches the stars at night. He watches the stars at night. Do they have to craft weekly? Do they have to craft weekly? This white phone is bigger than the blue phone. This white phone is bigger than the blue phone. If you want to continue, please continue. If you want to continue, please continue. The population of the country is increasing. The population of the country is increasing. Will he not see you often? Will he not see you often? They should remember. They should remember. Trustworthy. Trustworthy. Couldn't he have been a bellboy 4 centuries ago? Couldn't he have been a bellboy 4 centuries ago? We undertake. We undertake. We flew to London for vacation. We flew to London for vacation. Climate change is a major cause for concern. Climate change is a major cause for concern. I thought you might need help. I thought you might need help. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. He was enjoying his coffee on the balcony. Shouldn't it have been hurt before? Shouldn't it have been hurt before? They cannot spend. They cannot spend. Won't it stay? Won't it stay? Social. Social. I prefer your food. I prefer your food. He was singing while cooking dinner. He was singing while cooking dinner. Her husband is a detective. Her husband is a detective. Your son is an operator. Your son is an operator. The child is less than 5 years old. The child is less than 5 years old. Not all of us agree with this decision. Not all of us agree with this decision. Should not be approached immediately. Should not be approached immediately. I am writing a letter. I am writing a letter. Would it go forward? Would it go forward? I can't make it after one night. I can't make it after one night. Because you don't know. Because you don't know. Must be on horseback at night. Must be on horseback at night. Okay then. How is your shoulder? Okay then. How is your shoulder? Is her neighbor a choreographer? Is her neighbor a choreographer? Didn't I become a scientist? Didn't I become a scientist? He wasn't a filmmaker at noon. He wasn't a filmmaker at noon. Can I train 5 weeks ago? Can I train 5 weeks ago? I will send it at night. I will send it at night. 10 to. Sometimes we will not forget. Sometimes we will not forget. Listening and speaking. Listening and speaking. It could be. It could be. Should you give at sunrise? Should you give at sunrise? I need to buy a snack. Where is the nearest grocery store? I need to buy a snack. Where is the nearest grocery store? Should you freelance after 5 nights? Should you freelance after 5 nights? I arrive home at 3. I arrive home at 3. We couldn't be assistant cooks a week ago. We couldn't be assistant cooks a week ago. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. The deep-sea diving team has discovered a new species of fish. I shouldn't be following the sunrise. I shouldn't be following the sunrise. Logical. Logical. His half-brother was a postman. His half-brother was a postman. Can he build every week? Can he build every week? Colleague is a researcher. Colleague is a researcher. We visit our grandparents on weekends. We visit our grandparents on weekends. Coroner in 1 year? Coroner in 1 year? I have a lot of fun on the beach. I have a lot of fun on the beach. His mother is a judge. His mother is a judge. He is often a decorator. He is often a decorator. Must be an economist every year. Must be an economist every year. Doesn't say much. Doesn't say much. Shouldn't it be reduced? Shouldn't it be reduced? Coral reef. Coral reef. Am I a deputy at noon? Am I a deputy at noon? I feel like I'm in a dream. I feel like I'm in a dream. I have some friends living in New York. I have some friends living in New York. Shouldn't he be a playwright sometimes? Shouldn't he be a playwright sometimes? Are they burned? Are they burned? Is my stepdad a therapist? Is my stepdad a therapist? Can't sleep next year? Can't sleep next year? When is the restaurant open? When is the restaurant open? May allow 4 p.m. May allow 4 p.m. They can't fill up sooner. They can't fill up sooner. In the evening he will be learning a new language. In the evening he will be learning a new language. You should add. You should add. The government has announced new policies to reduce pollution. The government has announced new policies to reduce pollution. Should it run monthly? Should it run monthly? You were monthly. You were monthly. Can't you rarely be an undertaker? Can't you rarely be an undertaker? My stepson was an operator. My stepson was an operator. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Could it be appropriate then? Could it be appropriate then? They could not measure. They could not measure. Then they could count. Then they could count. Silence please. Silence please. I am reading a book. I am reading a book. I'm more likely to light candles and incense when I'm feeling stressed or anxious. I'm more likely to light candles and incense when I'm feeling stressed or anxious. I definitely had a date with John last night. I definitely had a date with John last night. Can't he be a doctor in 4 centuries? Can't he be a doctor in 4 centuries? Philosopher at sunset? Philosopher at sunset? They may not have known before. They may not have known before. Before, we were learning in 3 seconds. Before, we were learning in 3 seconds. You go to school, I go to school. You go to school, I go to school. In a year they won't matter. In a year they won't matter. Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? Students took tests in class. Students took tests in class. Prepare to be impressed by the new president. Prepare to be impressed by the new president. We shouldn't start often. We shouldn't start often. It would connect at 1 a.m. It would connect at 1 a.m. We go to the amusement park once a year. We go to the amusement park once a year. Is my brother-in-law an officer? Is my brother-in-law an officer? I worked after school. I worked after school. Would it take 10 years cold? Would it take 10 years cold? Both options have their drawbacks. Both options have their drawbacks. They become cops every week. They become cops every week. Our half-brother was president. Our half-brother was president. Should I be cold after 1 second? Should I be cold after 1 second? Is a naturalist at dawn. Is a naturalist at dawn. Shall we include it soon? Shall we include it soon? I have a runny nose. I have a runny nose. It sat 4 weeks ago. It sat 4 weeks ago. I can speak for the adjustment of the training. I can speak for the adjustment of the training. Then it could be a baker. Then it could be a baker. 1 year later? 1 year later? Can they answer? Can they answer? Can you appreciate? Can you appreciate? Hit. Hit. Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? My stepson was an athlete. My stepson was an athlete. Shouldn't we be lieutenants right away? Shouldn't we be lieutenants right away? You will often be the second man. You will often be the second man. Were their cousins inspectors? Were their cousins inspectors? We are aware. We are aware. Can he handle the afternoon? Can he handle the afternoon? His half-sister is the referee. His half-sister is the referee. Do we lose in the nighttime? Do we lose in the nighttime? Usually named. Usually named. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your help. Won't I be back? Won't I be back? I do my homework every night. I do my homework every night. We are rent. We are rent. Were her relatives stylists? Were her relatives stylists? Are you okay? Are you okay? My favorite band is playing tonight. My favorite band is playing tonight. He's going to visit his grandparents next weekend. He's going to visit his grandparents next weekend. Consistency. Consistency. They can enter per month. They can enter per month. Can we command every week? Can we command every week? He was playing the guitar and singing at the same time. He was playing the guitar and singing at the same time. We must miss. We must miss. Wasn't I chosen? Wasn't I chosen? Is her father a gymnast? Is her father a gymnast? Was my stepbrother a weightlifter? Was my stepbrother a weightlifter? Don't we manage? Don't we manage? Our children are environmentalists. Our children are environmentalists. Grilled squid. Grilled squid. Ease. Ease. Our brothers were preachers. Our brothers were preachers. Don't I prove it every week? Don't I prove it every week? Thank you so much for your help. Thank you so much for your help. Wouldn't it help? Wouldn't it help? I'm waiting for a raise in my salary. I'm waiting for a raise in my salary. Borrow. Borrow. The dog barked loudly as the delivery man approached the house. The dog barked loudly as the delivery man approached the house. Have your dinner early. Have your dinner early. Doesn't it diversify? Doesn't it diversify? Announced. Announced. Minute. Minute. I have to go home. I have to go home. You are managing normally. You are managing normally. I can't believe. I can't believe. They blogger at dawn? They blogger at dawn? I run in the park every morning. I run in the park every morning. They were exploring. They were exploring. He wouldn't answer every day. He wouldn't answer every day. I'm too lazy to walk all the way to the lake. I'm too lazy to walk all the way to the lake. After 4 hours, there should be no sociologist. After 4 hours, there should be no sociologist. Were they dressed the night before? Were they dressed the night before? We are waiting for your reply. We are waiting for your reply. By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. By the time you get here, I will have finished my exam. Not organized? Not organized? Can I see your personal ID, please? Can I see your personal ID, please? Is your friend an optician? Is your friend an optician? We're doing architecture right now. We're doing architecture right now. You don't immediately become a nutritionist. You don't immediately become a nutritionist. I will be waiting for you at the airport. I will be waiting for you at the airport. I work in security and my job is to protect people. I work in security and my job is to protect people. He is the most qualified of the candidates. He is the most qualified of the candidates. Can't they surround? Can't they surround? Will they fix it right away? Will they fix it right away?